Welcome back for another breakfast casserole recipe. So we're just going to start with some sausage. Any kind you like is good. I think this is the Walmart brand. Just get that nice and chopped up and get it browning. This is a real quick and easy recipe. You can throw it together with a lot of leftovers. It was actually requested by my daughter Jenna, so she is excited to have this breakfast casserole video. Get that nice and chopped up. If ever things seem redundant, it's because I do these videos uh, for people who may have never cooked before. You'd think my daughter would pick up all the goodies, and yeah, no, she didn't. So if I explain things, if I over explain things, it's because it could be the first time she's fried sausage. Okay, maybe not, but close. So I think for this breakfast casserole, I had some green peppers. So that's kind of what I'm doing off to the side, is dicing up those green peppers. You can utilize any leftovers that you have that you think would be good in a breakfast casserole. And just make sure you don't have the heat on really super high either. You don't want to over scorch the sausage and leave some of it uncooked. I'll speed it up for you. This is also a great recipe if you have a bunch of company over. I used to make this when all my adopted kids would be over and their friends, and I'd be feeding 12, 13 kids on the weekends. So it was a nice, good meal to make. So once that's all browned, you can kind of just get that stirred up. Jason did rig up the camera for me a little bit more securely so it wouldn't fall into my sausage like it did on the last video. All right, set that off to the side and go ahead and get like a 9x13 cake pan. Spray it with Pam or put some oil in it, or however you choose. And I'm kind of showing that was the other thing I was doing when I was chopping the onions. I like to, onions can go bad super fast, so I try to chop up an onion every single time, and I'll zip, or I'll vacuum seal those. So anyway, back to the recipe. So that was about half a bag of the Aldi shredded potatoes for our base. You can shred your own, you can buy whatever kind you like. And then I utilized about half of the sausage that I fried up and sprinkling that all over. And then I'll save about half of it, and I'll save that for another day. I believe we used that for omelets too, and that made a really great omelet, that fried up sausage. Oh, and Jenna, please make sure you switch to a new utensil after you're done frying up the sausage. You don't want to contaminate, your, like that food chopper. It dealt with raw sausage. You don't want to deal with cooked sausage. Drizzle on some of your green peppers and some onions. However much you think you'd like. I could have put some bacon in it because we had bacon. I just didn't have any fried up, and this was a leftovers breakfast, so don't tell the guys. And then I usually will just kind of give that a little toss. Gonna get the ingredients mixed up real nice. And for some reason, I I did not get footage of scrambling the egg, so hang tight on that. I don't know what happened, if I just forgot to press play or whatever, so I decided to sprinkle it with a little bit more of love. And I've gone to grating all of our cheese. I think the flavor is better. You don't get that powdery grossness that comes along with pre-shredded cheeses. So for this dish, I used Colby Jack and mozzarella, maybe? It doesn't take much, and you'd be surprised at the pile of cheese you're going to get when you start shredding your own. And if you break it down cost per ounce, you're going to come out better, and it's going to be a lot cheaper and better cheese if you shred it yourself. Yep, I did use mozzarella. I just cut right through that plastic. Sometimes I'll pull that plastic piece off the top and place it onto the brick. I buy it in the biggest brick, obviously, that I can. This one was fighting me back a little bit. I had to show it who was boss. And shred up that mozzarella. I did just buy some flexible cutting board stuff because I hate the concept of paper plates, but I use them anyway. I use them because I'm able to bend them and pour them into baggies. And so I thought, maybe if I buy some flexible cutting boards, I can utilize that a little bit better and repeatedly versus a one-use paper plate. So we're going to give it a shot. I'll let you know how I like it. There we go. Colby Jack and mozzarella. And I think this is where I forgot to get footage, although I see eggs somewhere in the footage, so maybe I didn't. Probably should have pulled that out. So I just drizzle it with cheese, however to your liking. When we were done and we actually ate this, I thought I had too much cheese in it, but Jason said no, he liked it with the extra cheese. See, fold it over, pour it in a baggie, save it for later. It's all about food prepping. Oh, it looks like I've used a little bit of sharp cheddar too. That's what that is. Put on some Colby Jack. You just kind of mix that in just a little bit. Not too much because you don't want all the cheese to go clear to the bottom. Oh, I also had a sausage patty left over from a breakfast that didn't get used, so I diced it up, and we're just going to toss that in there too. Like I said, it's a great breakfast casserole that you can just throw whatever you want into. Salt and pepper to taste. I don't use a lot of spices on my breakfast. My hubby can't tolerate a lot of spices in the morning. Oh, I guess I did get the eggs. So my knife was already dirty. If I have a fork dirty, I'll use a fork, but I have got a knife. So if you're going to use my technique, please be aware that you could slice your hand. Fair warning. But you can whisk an egg with anything. You can whisk an egg with a spoon. You can whisk an egg with a knife, fork, whatever you want. A whisk. I just happen to have a knife already used up from doing the sausage and the other vegetables. So here I'm using 5. Oh, looks like I got 6. 6 eggs. And I put them in a baggie and save them for the compost pile. Once my chickens get here and they're past their laying age, usually 18, 19, half cup of half and half, then I'll make those into a calcium chicken feed kind of type thing. You bake it. I'll do a whole video on that. But see, a knife will whisk an egg just the same. And the milk is added for like a creamier texture to the egg because you honestly typically won't taste a lot of the egg once you get this casserole completed. And you pour it on and then stick it in the oven. I believe I did this one at 385 for about 25-30 minutes. It's hard to do a accurate amount considering I'm using an RV oven right now. In a month or so, when we get into the tiny house and I have my full-size oven, then I'll be able to do a better conversion for you. So you want it to cook without burning the top. So typically that's going to be in your 385 to 425 range. Of course, use this time to clean up your workspace. Hear that, Jenna? Clean as you go. It's much better to clean as you go. Do up any of those dishes while it's cooking. Clean up your countertop. Of course, for me, that includes closing my oven, which I don't know why I closed it because I need to open it again to bring out the casserole, but because I wanted to wash it. That's why. And I threw this little tidbit in there just because it's kind of what I do. Like I said, when I cut up those onions, I cut up the whole onion whether I need it or not because onions are notorious for going bad. So I got this food saver actually at a thrift shop for $20, I think, and it's like $200 and some food saver. So I'll cut off a larger than normal bag and I will add all the extra onions in like usable size baggies because I'll throw the baggies and the onions directly in there. And this is just a part of food prepping and not wanting your stuff to go bad. So what I'll do is I'll open up the baggies while they're in the food saver bags. And that way it sucks out all the air, but yet it keeps the serving sizes separated. And by cutting off a larger than needed bag, I'm able to reseal that bag multiple times. So in this bag, I have 3 littler baggies of onions. And it was what was left after I diced up all the onions. And I'll go ahead and vacuum seal that. And I'm careful about how far I put it in. And it leaves me room that I can reseal that same bag over and over for those 3 servings of onions. Voila, I have 3 servings of onions ready to go. There it is, come out of the oven, and our breakfast casserole is complete. You can also, if you want, take sliced cheese and put that on top and then put it back in for a little bit of melting, but it's good just as it is. So you want to cut off yourself a little slice. Of course, this one's for Jason. And might have a little bit stuck to the sides. And just a little FYI, after we ate this for breakfast, I was able to take this casserole the next morning and fried up a few more eggs and included what was left as leftovers into breakfast burritos. So none of it went bad. It all got eaten up because I'm all about making sure we save money. So till next time, we'll see you later. Peace out.